Welcome back to Starbase, where science fiction transitions into reality. We are only weeks away from witnessing another incredible launch. After that impressive static fire of Booster 13, teams have returned to the launch pad for post-static fire checks. Once Booster 13 was removed, they quickly rebuilt scaffolding on the launch mount, ensuring everything survived the static fire test. It's worth noting that a static fire puts nearly as much strain on the launch mount as an actual launch would. If you look back at some early booster static fires, you'll see just how taxing they can be. Thankfully, it seems that not much additional work is needed on the launch mount. However, other parts of the infrastructure are still undergoing testing. Take the chopsticks, for example. They were raised to full height again on the 28th, likely for calibration. We want to ensure every system is functioning correctly before Flight 6. The last part of the launch pad needing attention is the ship's quick disconnect. It hasn't seen much action beyond post-flight inspections until now, but thankfully it seems to have held up remarkably well, an improvement from previous flights where we saw some unfortunate misalignments after liftoff. We'll see how extensive the repairs are. But ideally, SpaceX hopes to operate starships at a cadence similar to aircraft. After all, runways don't need repairs after every flight, right? Speaking of which, to find out how SpaceX plans to achieve this, we should look at another launch pad currently under construction. Have you hit the like button yet? Help us boost the YouTube algorithm by giving us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Many thanks for your amazing support. With Flight 6 on the horizon, you'd expect all work at Starbase to slow down. Surprisingly, that couldn't be further from the truth. A recent flyover from Redline helicopter tours revealed significant activity at Starbase, with substantial earthworks taking place. You might even notice a new lake where dirt used to be. This is likely why SpaceX opted not to build a flame diverter for the launch pads here due to the low water table. Building underground can be tricky in such conditions, as constant water pumping can slow down the construction process. During our flyover, we spotted hoses draining this new area, trying to manage the water levels. Now, shifting our focus back to the excavated areas, they appear much larger than our last visit. The commodities trench is almost entirely excavated, and workers are busy installing the rebar structure inside. We also saw the continuous flight auger in action, which installs sheet piles to support the weight of heavy structures. All of this groundwork is likely in preparation for the water tanks that will be used for the Flame Trench's water deluge system, which will be crucial during launches. While we wait for the orbital launch mount to come together, some progress has already been made. It's currently being constructed at the Sanchez site. While no new segments arrived since our last flyover, we caught a glimpse of cranes working diligently. Just after our flyover ended, one of the 4 segments was lifted and placed atop the lower square section. These upper segments will directly connect to the booster and house the hold-down clamps, and Raptor Quick Disconnects features crucial for the 20 Raptor engines that will eventually power Starship launches. Speculation in the space community suggests that SpaceX may not be ditching the Raptor Quick Disconnects after all. Now let's take a moment to celebrate Booster 12's recent unveiling. After weeks in the Mega Bay for inspections, it's out and ready for public viewing. What caught everyone's eye was the noticeable discoloration near the top of the booster. Surprisingly, much of this came from hot staging rather than the intense re-entry. This gives us a glimpse into what reusable Starship boosters might look like after multiple flights. We can see evidence of hot staging on the booster, with some soot visible and even handprints from engineers who inspected it. It's a common misconception that methane leaves no soot, but it does leave less than RP1, the refined kerosene. From what we can tell, SpaceX hasn't made drastic changes to the booster, just a few minor adjustments, like the addition of red lifting points. Now, let's address a question that might be lingering. Why was Booster 12 moved to the Rocket Garden? This area is often seen as a resting place for retired prototypes. While SpaceX has been known to scrap previous models, such as SN15, the likelihood of them scrapping Booster 12 now seems low. There's still plenty to learn from this booster, especially as analyzing flight data is crucial for planning Flight 6. However, it's important to note that SpaceX can only fit a limited number of boosters in the megabay at any given time. Currently, boosters 13, 14, and 15 are inside, and with booster 16 under construction, they're likely prioritizing space. The recent move of booster 12 to the Rocket Garden is likely a strategic decision to make room for ongoing construction. And while we're on the topic of upcoming flights, we need to keep an eye on Ship 31, which has been undergoing significant work in preparation for Flight 6. After Flight 5, work on its heat shield stalled, but recently we've seen teams actively removing parts of the heat shield, including some newly installed tiles. This may indicate that SpaceX is looking to streamline the design for better weight distribution and overall efficiency. Finally, let's talk about Ship 33, the first of the Block 2 ships, which recently arrived at the testing range. After a series of preliminary tests, it underwent cryogenic proof testing with visible frost lines. This is an exciting step forward in the development of future Starship models. As we wrap up today's updates, it's worth mentioning the challenges facing some of SpaceX's competitors. Boeing has hit another snag, losing a satellite. Intelsat 33E unexpectedly broke up into nearly 500 pieces, creating a significant hazard for other satellites in geostationary orbit. The cause of this breakup remains unknown, but it's a reminder of the risks associated with space operations. With ongoing developments in space exploration, we're witnessing a fascinating chapter in the evolution of reusable rockets and the challenges that come with them. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe for more jaw-dropping space updates, and join us as we embark on a cosmic journey like never before.